Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to hop on here and record a quick video because our favorite candidate for governor challenged somebody who commented to look up anything about who he's getting contributions from or anything like that because it's all public, which he's correct. You can certainly do that. We've done that before for like Gavin Newsom to see who's funding him, and we were able to find out that certain healthcare companies were giving him large donations to during COVID to get access, but that's not really the point of this video. So instead of going through all the people who have contributed, there was something I wanted to look at that I thought was pretty interesting. So, well, maybe we'll just take a gander at what Mr. Williams is expending his money on. So you can go to the California Secretary of State website and find this. It's under campaign finance. And of course, by law, you have to tell the Secretary of State and publish everything that you've been spending money on. So in general information right off the bat, last year, this was his reporting year from last year, from January to December, he brought in $300,000 worth of contributions, which isn't bad for a smaller campaign, especially for governor. It's not a bad amount. So he spent about $140,000. And then the expenditures and his ending cash, he has about $164,000. So now you can go over here and say, let's see, expenditures made. We had to do historical because 21 through 22 hasn't been reported yet. So you can go down here and you can start to see the breakdown of everything that's on here. I had already gone ahead and looked through most of these, and there's some that I'll point out to you that kind of stand out to me. Flying V is a digital agency, a digital marketing agency, no big deal. This is production for TV, not a big deal. Printing, digital marketing again. Lido House we'll come back to. That's a lot of money. $4,000 spent there. We'll come back to that. He seems to like the Lido House. Best Buy spent $4,000 probably on computers and gadgets. I don't know, stuff like that. Again, we have the printing, which is fine. More printers. This one's best chauffeured worldwide. $3,000 campaign paraphernalia, miscellaneous. I don't know how those two things really work together, how campaign paraphernalia and miscellaneous work with best chauffeured worldwide. Let's see if I can pull up the correct one. I want to make sure. So this is best chauffeured, industry leader in luxury transportation. If he's using his campaign expenditures for transportation, he's allowed to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. They're not saying you have to go with the cheapest option by law. But this is, if he's using it, this is what he's using. Pretty nice. I mean, you got sedans, you got the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. You can use it all these different ways. I guess this is for kind of getting people around. So, he's spending, what did he spend on that? $3,225. $225. That's pretty good sum of money for luxury transportation. Again, he's doing the more digital stuff. Lido House, again, we'll come back to them. Spent about $3,000 for staff, spouse, travel, lodging, and meals. That's a lot of money to spend. Printers. I don't even know how to say this. Manu Malinawi. I looked them up. Can't really see what they are. That's really a bad sign right off the bat if I can't find you on the internet. That's not a good sign. I don't know who this services is. So I don't know what he spent that money on. Hyatt Regency. Hyatt Regency is a high-end version of Hyatt, one of their Marriott properties. This is fine, I guess. It's a rally meet and greet. Maybe he spent a lot of money on getting people there. A&A limousine service. He spent $2,500, and this was specifically candidate travel. I couldn't find A&A. Like, I looked them up. The only thing I could find was somebody in PA, New York City, and New Jersey. I couldn't find anything in California, so I don't know where that company is based out of or where they're from. Elizabeth Lawford, campaign consultant. I couldn't really figure out who she is or where she's from. Let's see. Can I find... Let's see. Did I look her up? Yeah, I looked her up. I couldn't find anything. The closest thing I could find was some sort of campaign consultant group for Democrats, not for Republicans. Again, A&A, again, $2,500. A&A, again, $2,500. It seems to be the same amount of money, 25, 25, 25. But I couldn't figure out who they were. RCC Santa Barbara. I had thought maybe this was like a Republican organization in the area, but no, this is candidate travel lodging. Again, let's see. Let me pull this up. So this is the Ritz Carlton, Becerra, and Santa Barbara. That's what I found, and that makes sense that it's because it's candidate travel and lodging. And if you're just looking at the base room, it starts at a cool $567 a night. So that looks pretty fancy. And then you have the deluxe guest room, $606. So it goes up to about, over $1,000 for a room at the Ritz Carlton. Elizabeth Lawford, again, don't know who she is, but she seems to keep getting more money. Toro, if you don't know what Toro is, I pulled this up. Toro was a company that I used when I used to have a Jeep, and I would just rent it out while I was in law school because it would just sit there. So you could rent your own personal car. It was a good way to make some extra money on the side. It's a pretty good company. I've used them before. I worked with them. You can get this nice Mazda Miata for $80 a day. You can get this Tesla model. It's a couple years old, but it's $88 a day. Even if you go up to the exotic and luxury, it's $289 a day. So some of them are pretty expensive. Like this Aston Martin is $300 a day, but these are really nice cars. And what did he spend on that? He spent $1,600 on Toro. Now maybe he rented for a bunch of people, but that's a lot of money to spend just for renting cars. Usually you probably want to go through some sort of actual car rental company, just not individual companies, because you can get like a little bit of a fleet. So they'll go through like Hertz or what's the other one? National, those sort of car rental companies, because you get a group discount. That's how most campaigns would do it. Is Printful? Yeah, that makes sense. Printing stuff. Again, the Hyatt Regency, candidate travel, lodging, meals, another $1,600. Flying V, more digital marketing. I don't know who this guy is. Salvador Gonzalez. Didn't look him up. Again, we come back to Lido House. This was a staff meeting on September 22nd, 2020. $1,500 for one staff meeting. Or maybe a couple staff meetings. That's big. Let's see, a Lido House. We'll go take a look at that. I guess we can go take a look at that right now. So this is the Lido House. He spends a lot of money there. So it looks like he's already spent upwards of like $10,000 there from different events and staff meetings. And it's beautiful. I mean, it looks really nice. I mean, it's high-end stuff. You have these private cottages. Let's see, we can go look at that. It's really nice. I mean, it looks like a nice place to go if you want to go spend the weekend or something. But we can go back here. No, I don't want that. How do I go back? Let's go back. Oh. I just want to go back and look at the food or whatever. Anyway. How do I keep going back? Oh, now it's missing. There we go. There we go. The mayor's table. This is their restaurant, I guess. Oh, it looks really nice. Got some nice seafood. Looks very, very swanky. Very, very nice. He spent a lot of money at this place. I mean, I think rough estimate is about $10,000 he's spent just on that. And if it's staff meetings, he's had like, I guess, rallies and meet and greets there. Again, we go more to staff meetings, another $1,000. Staff spouse travel campaign strategy session, another $900. I guess that's important to have a strategy session for $900. Lisa Ray campaign services, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Here we go. There's more Toro. I mean, I'm just kind of going really quickly on this. Lisa Ray campaign again. Again, he spent more money at the Ritz Carlton. Toro, he spent another $1,200. Don't know what he spent all that money on. Maybe he was renting out fancy cars to look nice. Lisa Ray campaign services. The closest thing I could find to Lisa Ray campaign services is his Facebook page. And the last thing I saw was, let's see, 2018. So almost 3 years ago was when he did that, or when that Lisa Ray updated. So she's not very active. She doesn't have a website, which is weird. Usually if you're anybody, I mean, any business really has a website now. So it's weird that if you can't find any of these companies just through a website right away, that's not usually a good sign. So here we go. Another Hyatt Regency, $800. Hyatt Regency, $800. The Lido House, another $800. Hyatt again, Ritz Carlton, Delta Airlines, $600. He may be spending on a whole bunch of people to go. Lido House, again, $600. Hyatt, Ritz Carlton, Delta, Ritz Carlton, Elite Team Services. I had no idea who this is. Couldn't figure them out. Lisa Ray got another $500. My Metal business card. Let's see. Here we go. My Metal business card. So that's if you want to pay for like really nice looking business cards. They're like made out of metal. But you could go to Vistaprint and for $500 you could print like an endless supply of business cards, and they look really nice. I mean, I've printed up cards, and they don't cost $500. So I guess things are going pretty rough here. You have to stay at a Holiday Inn Express. But yeah, so when it comes to any candidate, and people will say, well, Phil, why don't you do that for like Kevin Faulconer? Well, guess what? I did. I looked at Kevin Faulconer. Let's see, go to historical expenditures made. It's probably because he just started running, so he hasn't reported anything. But either way, I can always come back and check on this and see what it is and what he spent on. Someone like John Cox, I wouldn't really worry about. The guy's like worth $1 billion. If he's spending money, that's his prerogative. But for a campaign that's a little bit smaller, that's an outsider campaign that's running, trying to be lean and mean, I don't know. I mean, would you be spending a lot of money staying at the fanciest hotels and being chauffeured around limousines and luxury cars and stuff like that, spending a lot of money on rental cars? I don't know. It seems a little weird. I think if I were running a campaign that was grassroots and I was trying to make sure every end meet, I would be spending a lot on, obviously, like this stuff. This is important. This stuff is important. Digital marketing is important. But I don't know. $4,000 here at the Lido House. Lido House must love him at this point because he's just spending an exorbitant amount of money there. And the Hyatt Regency must be loving him as well because he's spending a lot of money. Same thing with the Ritz Carlton Santa Barbara. So, excuse me. So just another thing to keep an eye out for. I thought it was interesting to, if you ever have a chance to ask him, say, hey, why are you spending money on luxury cars and being chauffeured around in limousines and spending money at Ritz Carltons and all these fancy hotels? Wouldn't you be spending money at like cheaper places to try and save your money and spend it on the campaign? Why is it really important that you have staff meetings at the Lido House for $1,500? I don't know. But anyway, just wanted to give that quick little update. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, or subscribe, share this video. I'm sorry, it's a weird day. It's an off day. I just hopped on here. Like and share it with a bunch of people. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.